Hey everybody, welcome to Trail and Back again. In this video, we're going to talk about the advantages of a bivy setup over a tent or a hammock setup. Here is my setup. I've got the 11-foot, there we go, hammock gear, Dyneema tarp. It is not squared away, so it does taper as you go down there. I'm not sure if my finger's pointed in the right direction, but I think you know what I mean. Here I have it's actually a custom made, I'm pretty sure, Dyneema bivy. I bought this off of Marketplace sometime last year. Really thin Dyneema floor. There's actually a little hole in there I have to patch. Screen all the way around. The zipper, we'll look at this in just a second, but wraps halfway around this thing so you can get out on that side or that side to your liking. It's very large. It's made technically for 2 people, but realistically it's just super comfortable for 1 person. And there's some cool features of this particular bivy, which I'm sorry aren't super relevant to everybody because, again, this was custom made, but it might give you some ideas if you want to get one that's custom made, or maybe there are some that exist that are like this and I just don't know about it. But I was told this was custom made. So let's take a look at the bivy a little bit more, and then I'm just gonna go over a couple things that I like about bivy camping over tent or hammock camping. All right, let's take a look here. First off, I'm sorry if I get distracted at all. These mosquitoes are pretty bad tonight. So you can see in the back that there's a stay that goes across, and then there's a stay right here as well. So that gives you nice height in this particular bivy. In the back, there is a, I don't know if you can see the separate line, but there's another loop that you can lift the toe box up a little bit. I have it lifted just a little bit. I didn't get too worried about it because it's my feet. I don't really care that much. And the screen's not pushing up against the tent wall, so I don't care if it sags a little bit. I have tons of room up front here, which is the only thing I'm really concerned about. Now here's the cool thing. It's got these loops here, so the stay goes into these grommets, and then it goes through this loop into the other grommet. And attached to the loop in the front and the back is a line lock setup. Super convenient. So I just took the extra line off my tarp ridge line and swung that down to grab onto the line lock to lift this whole bivy up. And voila, it's not supposed to rain tonight, so I don't have to worry about water dripping down. So I was able to do a very economical setup tonight. So let's kind of back up. We'll take a look at this setup here once again and talk about some of the advantages. One advantage, this tarp without the lines or the stakes, and I use the shepherd hook titanium stakes, so very light, but I think the tarp itself is 5.5 ounces, so extremely light. Now the bivy is, I think, about the same. The stays add a little bit more. I don't remember the exact weight of it, but it doesn't really matter. The point is, a tarp and bivy setup, if you have a nice setup, and you're gonna spend a little money for it, for sure, but you're gonna have a very lightweight, very compact setup, which is kind of hard to beat. The other main reason I like this particular setup is that it is summer here. It's not humid, which is really great. The mosquitoes are awful right now, which kind of stinks. I thought without the humidity, the mosquitoes might be gone, but nope, they are not, probably because I have a lake right there. But in the summer, the warmer nights, warmer days, you do a tarp and bivy setup, you get nice coverage if it rains, and you can always lower the tarp, which is awesome, and get better coverage, or more coverage near the ground. So if it does rain hard, it's not gonna splash up so bad. It might a little bit more than a tent, that's a disadvantage. But in the warmer summer months, you get phenomenal airflow. I'm rambling, I'm sorry, but you get great, look at this. It's wide open. Now, at nighttime, you kind of feel vulnerable. So if you're not used to sleeping exposed at night, because you think an alien or Freddy Krueger or Sasquatch is gonna come get you, this might freak you out a little bit, but personally, I don't mind it. Sometimes noises get to me a little bit, but let's just be realistic. It's probably nothing, or it's probably just an animal, and it'll leave you alone. But look at the wonderful airflow you get here. That's a pretty sweet advantage. Honestly, just the third advantage I'm gonna say my final advantage. You might have some other advantages, but these are the ones that I think are advantages. You can, if you're hiking with trekking poles and you're in an area where you have to stop for the night, or it's the only option to stop for the night, and you're typically a hammock camper, which I am, you can set this up with trekking poles if you don't have proper trees. Or you can simply use one tree and a trekking pole. Or you can use one tree and just taper that tarp down to the ground, and you can still get your bivy in there. Now it's gonna be a little tighter, but you're still gonna have really good coverage, and you're gonna stay dry, you're gonna sleep just fine. There's a lot of versatility to a tarp and bivy setup over a hammock, not over a tent. There are disadvantages to this setup over a tent, no doubt. The only advantage of this over a tent is the weight and for most tents, and airflow. So I think that covers it. Weight, it's compact, you get great airflow, and there is more versatility to where and how you set this up than a hammock setup. Pretty easy video, simple video tonight. Thanks for sticking around, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Take care. God bless y'all. Bye.